Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of EA James, where I am all about games. Today, we are discussing a 16-bit platforming adventure known as Shovel Knight: Treasure Trove. This game actually was released back in 2014, but has been receiving free DLC in the form of expansion campaigns all the way up until December 10th of last year in 2019, when it finally finished with the expansion of King of Hearts. Today, we're actually going to discuss all 5 portions of this game and how they go together. Let's get started. For the original campaign, you take control of the protagonist, Shovel Knight. He is in buff blue armor and carries a special shovel that he can use not only for platforming, pogoing, and combat, but he's also trying to rescue his best friend Shield Knight, who went missing a while ago. This for a portion causes Shovel Knight to completely lose his grounds and his reasoning for moving onward. He moves into a sedentary lifestyle where he plows the earth and completely ignores the evil forces known as the Order of No Quarter that are amassing upon the land. They're led by an evil witch named the Enchantress, and eventually Shovel Knight renews his vigor and he pursues in hot pursuit, ready to take them down. You will explore 10, maybe even 12, depending on if you go for the secret portions, areas of the world as you take down each of the different knights you battle to finally expose the Enchantress herself. This allows you to get a feel for Shovel Knight as a whole, as well as listening to the fantastic original soundtrack by Jake Kaufman as you explore the beautiful 16-bit landscape that is the world. After completing a Shovel of Hope, you unlock the Plague of Shadows, where you get to take control of the wonderful and kooky antagonist, Plague Knight. Plague Knight controls drastically differently from Shovel Knight, as he actually is in a prequel of sorts, where he is trying to steal the essence of different knights as well as eventually take down Shovel Knight. You get to explore his mad factory, as well as see a little bit of the backstory of Plague Knight, as he is overall confused and tricked into serving the Order of No Quarter and the Enchantress, who actually, spoilers approaching, is Shield Knight, who has been possessed and taken over to want to become the harbinger of destruction as she fights against Shovel Knight. Plague Knight goes through and defeats all the other knights, as well as eventually Shovel Knight, all amassing into a giant essence battle against the evil inside of himself. You will get to see all of his different minions, as well as brand new tracks, adventure locations, and clientele that will help you to build up the amass of potions and trinkets that Plague Knight can use. If you're looking for a fast and mostly airborne portion of combat, this campaign is for you. For the next expansion portion, you take control of Spectra Night, a otherworldly and ghostly individual who is trying to discover his lost past. He has amnesia and doesn't even remember why he's serving the people he's serving. His campaign takes place as he's discovering the different allies and rivals that he has along the way. He is trying to amass the Order of No Quarter to serve the Enchantress, to give his lost soul a feeling of purpose. Throughout his campaign, you will discover that he is actually Donovan, a lost Scythe Knight, who actually lost his soul bravely trying to protect his friend. And if you do all of the completion portions of it, you can even get his undead, now living skin of Donovan as your playable character. I personally believe that Spectra Night was the most enjoyable portions of the game, as well as the fact that it allows you to climb walls, do diagonal slashes in very intricate and overall enjoyable platforming sections, as well as textured dexterity as you try to take on different knights to eventually bow them to your allegiance in your undead army. As for the newest campaign, which was released as an early Christmas present to people as free DLC for this if you purchased ahead of time, the King of Cards edition allows you to take place with King's Knight. This is probably the most fleshed out portion, as well as the overall most diverse as far as gameplay is concerned. King's Knight uses a shoulder bash as well as a twirling pogo atop people to reach higher and better locations. This diverse parkour set allows him to take down his adventure, where he goes and fights the 3 true kings in his quest to become the greatest king of all time. And unlike the other previous installments, he actually takes place in multiple different locales. As for the other 3 campaigns, you would have one solid map that you would progress through stage by stage, with minor world building here and there. Whereas in King's Knight's quest, you actually take place over 3 different worlds as he tries to amass his followers and make everyone become known of his nobility. In addition, it's known as the King of Cards due to a new card game that is a mostly optional side quest in the game, known as Joustus, which gives feelings of Triple Triad as well as old card games of games past. If you want something more challenging as well as more platform heavy, with a little bit of thought-inducing cards game on the side, King of Cards is for you. And lastly, and most surprisingly, they included in the game Shovel Knight Showdown, what is essentially a Smash Bros. Clone with a flair of 16-bit goodness that brings you back to the era of Streets of Rage and Final Fight. This game allows you to unlock new and recurring characters from the series, as well as battle it out in special arenas with occasionally special rule sets. This, although just a small side quest and distraction, can create hours of good time between you and your fellow fans. Overall, I think that Shovel Knight is a fantastic game that you should invest in, as well as wait for a price drop or a physical copy if you're into that. Otherwise, pick up a digital copy now. If you agree with me, or if you like these things, please leave me a comment in the comment section below, as well as please give this a thumbs up and ring the bell as it helps me a lot. Otherwise, take care and have a fantastic evening.